Hello beautiful people, thank you for popping in to see what I'm up to. Here you go guys, finally the hothouse. So that's Lindsay, say hi.
Hello everyone.
So Linds will take you through his setup.
I started by putting this reservoir in. And it's 1,000 litres. I've got a few bits to clean out. Spare pump. There's a pump in there that pumps 9,000 litres an hour, powers the whole system, sends it up through the main line there, also off into these two beds. The water goes into the fish tank and into all the grow beds from here.
And that's all tank water, not town water?
That is all tank water. There's no, I don't use town water. There's chlorine and other stuff you don't want in there. The water returning out of that tube is coming out of all the beds. Once they fill up and empty, there's an automatic flood and drain system in them. And it's also water out of the main fish tank. So while we're out here, I'll show you the, this is the pressure side. Comes up into the bed, and over here I have a system, and it's almost full. It'll fill right up to almost the top of that unit, and it'll create a siphon. And once it's created a siphon, it will then empty the whole bed, so the roots aren't surrounded with water all the time and they're not devoid of water. And it's that flood and drain which powers the whole system. And you stick at some lettuce, cos lettuce, minions I think they are, and this is a
Spinach?
type of spinach, yeah. This is a mushroom plant.
Never heard of a mushroom plant.
Yeah, tastes a bit like mushroom. Not a great fan of it, but it'll probably go soon. And of course the old flat leaf parsley over there.
So now we'll go around.
And this stuff here is called expanded clay. A lot of it comes from Germany, made in Germany. The beauty of this is it's light and it's easy to use. You can use gravel, other sorts of medium, but this is by far the best.
Awesome. So,
and I've got the solar set up for it. I've got some large batteries inside, and the whole thing is run on solar and power. I can use both, or I can just use one.
cool. Anything else out here?
That's about it. There is a shade to go over the whole unit, so if we've got a really hot summer, I'll put the shade over it so that it doesn't get stifling inside.
Cool, all right. Might as well head inside, eh?
Let's head inside in a minute so we can hear each other. This is connected to the water tank, so I can top the unit up. And I'll go and turn it off. You can see the water running in. That's the power side of down the back I showed you. I've got water running into here plus all the tanks. And I'll turn that water off and explain it to you. Should I lose the pump, I've got air into the tank as well, and the fish will survive quite some time.
Probably can't see the fishies in there.
Might be able to. I'll put this over and get a bit of shade over. Pop in there. There you can see them.
Yep. So what sort of fish have you got in there?
They are jade perch. They'd be just a little bit over 12 months old, and I have about 30 in there.
So
maybe 35.
I should come down fishing.
You'd probably catch a few. This is an old honey tank. It's slightly tapered on the bottom, and I have a drain in the bottom. And these risers here, the idea is that the water doesn't come across the top here most of the time. it sucks from the bottom. And with the inlet of the water, there is a very gentle circular motion, and these will pick up most of the fish poo and other bits and pieces, and it comes across and outside here, down into the tank. Then once it runs in the tank, comes across, and you can see the pipe there. It'll come up that pipe, and it's coming up with a fair bit of force. You can see the ripples on the water. And once it comes up that narrow pipe into this large area, the water flow slows down dramatically, and all the solids fall out. Once they've fallen out, it'll then run off over in the back, and this is called a radial filter, and it's for getting the solids out of the water. The actual system isn't generated by fish poo, it's generated by ammonia. The fish exude a lot of ammonia through the gills, and that ammonia is treated by bacteria which change it from ammonia to nitrites and then nitrites to nitrates. All that bacteria is located in here. A lot of it's in the beds, and the idea is the nitrites, the plants don't use it, the nitrate is what the plant uses. So you need plants to use the nitrates, and once they've removed the nitrates, you've basically got clean water, and then the clean water runs back into the whole system. In the second filter here, which is not a filter, it's got a biomedia in it, and that media grows the bacteria as well. As you can see, it tumbles with the air inside it. It's aerated as well as the water running through it. Water comes down through this tube at the back, in the bottom, and then out through the filter here. Both types of bacteria grow on this media too, and they also get rid of the ammonia and turn it into nitrites and nitrates. So from there, the water then runs out the back. I've got these main lines here are the returning water. There's one on each side. The beds run into those as well, all the water we can return. And the smaller lines underneath are the power that brings the water up to feed the beds and run back into the tank. I've had a rat in here, and he's had a field day on my gooseberries. It's a bit of a shame because they are very nice. I haven't had looked after my tomatoes very well. They've gone
feral.
Feral. Different feral. You come down the back. In our cupboard here, we have 390 amp hour batteries and a solar inverter. This is a solar charger to charge the batteries, and over here I have a power fail. So if we get a power fail, this will kick in and come off the batteries, and it'll just run one of the air compressors. These are air compressors for using in sewage septic tanks to aerate. And the whole system should run on its own.
And then you've got all your other bits and pieces in there, like for testing water and stuff?
Testing water, yes. Leftovers from the builds, bits and pieces. It wasn't a cheap build. All the air runs through these lines up here, and I can pull air off anywhere. Oh, bit of water in that one. That'll be condensation. So there is a sink at the back there for use. That's hooked up to the tank water as well. And that is the hothouse.
It's pretty impressive, Lindsay.
Yeah, it was fun building it.
So you built it all yourself?
I did. I shopped hard. Managed to find these tubs which were just ideal for growing. The right shape, the right depth. And I did all my homework on YouTube. I got all my information, and the guy that I got all my information off was a fellow named Rob, and you can find him on Rob Bob Aquaponics and Backyard Farm. If anyone wants to get into this sort of thing, look him up on YouTube.
I'll look him up and I'll put a link down in the description.
It's a great idea. I had a few issues when I first started setting up, so I contacted Rob and said, Rob, what's going on? And you know, he's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and he's got back to me and said, oh, have you done this? And I hadn't, so I fixed the problem. So hats off to Rob, he's a gem.
Awesome, great shout out for him too.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty good setup here. I know there's a few of my subscribers that are looking forward to this video because they have their own aquaponic systems, a lot smaller than yours. So thanks for taking us through the greenhouse or hothouse.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I did with these tanks, I got these welded on. Because all your solids settle in here, I used to have to siphon them out, and now it's just a matter of cracking a valve, and all that sediment is gone, runs down the back and outside.
Cool. All right, people, if you have got any questions for Lindsay, leave them down below. I don't think he follows me on YouTube yet, but I'll text him and say you need to get on this video so you can answer your questions. So guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, tickle that bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.